Yes, good day and welcome to Cactv. This is the newspaper review. I am Woods Dominic.
My name is Ola Olajibo. Good morning.
Okay, we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the quote for the day and also the news making headlines. We'll be right back. Welcome back from that quick break. First, we'll take a look at the quote that we have, and we'll be taking this from the book of Colossians 1:13, and it says, "For he has rescued us from the one who rules in the kingdom of darkness, and he has brought us into the kingdom of his dear Son, which is the kingdom of light." I'll take that again. First Colossians, the book of Colossians 1:13. It says that for he has rescued us from the one who rules in the kingdom of darkness, and he has brought us into the kingdom of his dear Son. Meaning that the Lord has rescued us from every obstacle. The moment he gave himself for us, he has set us free from every limitation, and he has given us life. He has given us a name that is above every other name. He has rescued us from darkness, and he has translated us into the kingdom of light the moment we received him. So whosoever has Jesus as light, whosoever is in Christ is in the light, because he is the light himself. He has saved you from every form of darkness, and he has delivered you. Yes, that's the word from Paul to the Colossians at the time. All right, so this is where we'll go on another break, and when we come back, we'll begin with the news making headlines. Stay tuned. We'll be starting with the Punch newspaper on our review this morning, and the first story that we have from the Punch says, Ondo crisis, deputy takes over as Akeredolu returns to Germany for treatment. The ailing Ondo State Governor, Mr. Rotimi Akeredolu, is returning to Germany for treatment. The governor's chief press secretary, Mr. Richard Olatunde, in a statement on Tuesday, said Akeredolu would transmit a letter to the State House of Assembly, handing over power to his deputy, Lucy Ayedatiwa, as the acting governor. Akeredolu was said to be suffering from cancer, has been going to Germany to treat the ailment, during which he handed over to Ayedatiwa in an acting capacity. The governor went on medical vacation on April 3rd, 2023 and July 10, 2023. At the time, he handed over to the deputy governor. He returned to the country on September 7th and wrote to the State House of Assembly informing the lawmakers. Although the governor returned from a medical leave in Germany in September, he was not cited in Ondo State, as he was reported to be staying in his private residence in Ibadan. Okay, so that's the first story that we have about Ondo State, and seeing that this is also making headlines today, it means that there is so much to be spoken of as far as that state is concerned. Now, seeing that he has been able to hand over to his acting deputy governor to take over, and I think this is actually a great way of leadership, but it has elongated for a longer time before now. Looking at this from July and then now till September, and he's just doing the handing over. What do you have to say to this, Engineer?
Well, you see, like you have said, Modot, there's many things are wrong with leadership in the country. We all know very well that Governor Akeredolu is sick. He's suffering from cancer. And he has traveled at least about twice this year. And from the last trip, when he returned, he has not even visited Akure, Ondo State. Mm-hmm. So he's been in his house. So this man is not fit medically. And if you have to go through the proper procedure, he has to resign. Because medically he's unfit. And all these balloons that are happening now in Ondo State is because of this corruption. Our leaders are corrupt. If you are a leader of a community and you are not fit, medically you are not fit, what do you need to do? Step aside or resign.
Let someone take the position.
But because of all this excessiveness, what they see in government posts, they will not resign. They will not say, I'm sick, I'm no longer unfit. This has caused a lot of rift between the two of them. The acting governor wants to become the governor is saying that, oh, my governor is sick, and then nothing is being done in the state. The state is not moving at all accordingly. Somebody has to step into a shoe, but the governor does not want to do that. That is what is causing the big rift between the governor and deputy governor. So until when the president has stepped into the matter and told the deputy governor that, okay, you have to sign a letter of resignation. If you go out of line, you'll be sanctioned. Because now the house is divided. Some people are supporting the governor, and people are supporting the deputy governor. But to bring peace and harmony to the state, the president and the elders of the party has to step into the matter. Oh, you stay here, you stay there. When he returned back from the last trip from Germany, he has not been to Akure.
He has not been cited.
He has not been cited at all. He's in his house, taking care of himself. But because of what they are,
to achieve,
what they are, not what they are getting, what they are collecting, they don't want to leave the post.
You know,
and you are unfit.
And I think this brings me to a point where I say that we see the truth and we do not say it, and then we do not follow the constitution, because in a country where the constitution is rightly followed, I'm sure that the rules will be taken and then the actions will be put in place. Because in a place where you know that there is a rule guiding a certain sector, and you know that when once this constituency says that once you are healed, the next person should be able to stand in gap for you. But in a place where that is not being done, I think the action needs to be taken immediately. We need to call the help, people to come in.
Again, you are talking about corruption. If it is not corruption, you know you are unfit for a post. Medically, you are sick. You've been the governor for the past years now, and this is your second time thereabout, and you are unfit to be there. What is the next thing for you to do? It's like in the spirit of Olympic. It's not to win, but to take part. You have been the governor for a while. Now you are sick. Medically, you are unfit. The best thing for you is to delegate your power to your subordinate, who is the deputy governor. Let him carry on the affairs of the state. But you don't want to do that. Now again, when the third time in a year that you are traveling to Germany and you are treating cancer, well, I pray for him to recover fully. I pray for him to recover fully, but that does not hold back the affairs of the state. That will not hold back the state. we have lots of problems in the state that needs to be resolved, but the governor is sick, and when the governor is sick, you must have someone to deputize for you. You understand now? So give the power to the deputy governor and let him continue. There shouldn't be any rift at all. But now the house is divided on its own. Some people are following the governor, some people are following the deputy governor. They want to impeach the deputy governor until the party has to step into the matter. This should not be at all. If it is not because of corruption in high places in our politics today in Nigeria, there is level of corruption. I think that corruption is not taken in from Nigerian politics. We can't move forward.
Exactly.
That is my opinion on that. Well, as he's doing now, that is now relegating power to the deputy is a good thing. We'll give him credit for that, and then we pray for him to recover fully and continue the affairs of the state.
All right, so that's the first story that we have from the Punch. So moving forward to the next story, this says court bars pro-Wike speakers. APC demands sanction for George. A Rivers State High Court in Port Harcourt has barred the functional Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Martin Amewule, who is a loyal to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, from going into the State Assembly complex until the Bond Chamber is fully renovated by the state government. It also on Tuesday ordered the functional Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Edison AE, to preside over the activities of the legislative arms of the state pending the determination of a motion before it. Justice Danagogo gave this order in the expert motion suit, which has the number, and then in which Rivers State House of Assembly was the first claimant, and Edison a second claimant, while Martin Amewule was first defendant deputy speaker. Damle Maul was the second defendant. A total of 27 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly elected under the People's Democratic Party on Monday defected to the All Progressive Congress and threatened to reject the request of the state governor for approval. Now, the factional Speaker of the House, Martin Amewule, who was also among those who defected on Tuesday's process, which was prepared by D1 Iboroma, a senior advocate of Nigeria, and other Edison, went to the court to order Amewule and others to stop going into the State Assembly complex until the Bond Chamber is fully renovated by the government. Okay, so that's the second story making headlines, and this is no news that we've been having the Godfather and the Godfather and the son in this case, going back and forth on this case, and this is because we have a government where things happen and then we don't pay attention to it. Now, when this fire thing came up the last time, they said a lot was going to be checked in, put in place, and then nothing has been done. No investigation has been done so far. It just shows a state of the country, a state of a country that things happen and then they don't pay attention to it. Now, looking at this again, there is so much tied down to the story. Engineer Ola, what's your take on this?
If you see, in the first instance, we have to go back again to the drawing board and address the issue of corruption in Nigerian politics. Now, the corruption is now to the extreme, and the government is not fighting corruption properly. Most of these people that have worked in the government, when they leave government, nothing happens to them. If they are corrupt, nothing is being done to checkmate these people. Okay, for example, now look at that state. Wike was the former governor of Rivers State, and Wike left. Wike appointed Fubara as his successor, and Fubara now won the election and became the governor of the state. So according to what we read in the news, Wike is demanding for something that Fubara is now saying what you are demanding for will not enable me to run my government effectively. Wike is saying no. Some members of the house are supporting Wike, some are supporting Fubara, and this is bringing a retrogression to the state. The state will not be moving forward. Wike has left, is now a minister in Abuja. Fubara is the sitting governor, but Wike still insists that he is my godson, and Fubara is saying Wike is my godfather. So if you continue Nigerian politics with this kind of polity, I don't know what is happening, because in this case the federal government has stepped into the matter that is to resolve the issue between Wike and Fubara. If the issue is not resolved, there will be problem in the state. If you look at it now, out of 32 House of Assembly members, state House of Assembly members in the state, 27 have defected from PDP to APC. Somebody has been saying that there should be a standing law that if you are elected under the platform of a political party, you cannot defect to another party. But this is not the case. Now they have taken now they have two speakers in the state House of Assembly. One faction belongs to Wike, other one belongs to Fubara. Now they bombed the House of Assembly. People are stretching accusing fingers to Fubara that he bombed it because of the risk between him and Wike. Even this morning again, we saw some caterpillars at the House of Assembly complex. They want to innovate it. Now Fubara is doing that. So that is it is not the only state. What is happening in those states is what is happening in Rivers State. So this is politics of frustration, politics of bitterness.
This still brings me to the point where I say it's because we do not follow what the constituency says. There is a law guiding us in this country, and I think that if we know the law so well, we won't go against it. This is a country where people just move from one party to another because the next party is not doing well, and then you just feel you move. Now in the constituency, it is also stated that before you move out of any party, there has to be maybe there's a rift among the party, and then there is a reason. It is something that cannot be resolved before you can say, okay, that is when you have the right to defect into another party. But here that is not the case. We just have, there's just so much disorder in that part of the state that something needs to be done earnestly.
It's because of godfatherism. Because I belong. This man is my mentor. Wike is my mentor. Whatever he says is the final. Now, what you are reading from the papers, most of the commissioners working with this governor were appointed by Wike. You are no longer the governor. You still want to be controlling
the affairs of the state.
Yes, we should not be. You are not giving the governor free hand. This is what is causing the rift. Now you are now a minister in Abuja.
You leave the one you're supposed to be ruling.
This is what is happening in the country today in politics. That's why people are saying, what is the best thing for us to do now? Obasanjo has come out to say that this kind of democracy is not working for us. We are seeing it that every day the governor and the deputy are fighting over what?
It's just about themselves.
And what they are fighting over is not to benefit
the masses.
The masses.
For themselves.
It is for their own pocket. You are the former governor. You will be saying that okay, the 5% or 10% of the allocation accrued to the state must come to me because I am your godfather. And if that is happening, how will the incumbent governor be able to perform? So you can see it is give and take. You give me, I take it. I take it, you give it to me. If you don't give it to me, I will mobilize people to impeach you.
And this still brings me to the part.
So which means that we're not talking about the voters. We that when they went out to vote to cast our vote for a governor, and that governor cannot sit
to act on our behalf, and
because he has a godfather who is saying no, you have to dance to my own music. There was a time at Ibadan that when Akala or somebody was Adedoja was removed simply because of security vote. That the security vote must come to me too because I am part of security. That is Oba Molete, Adedibu also. That this vote must come to this vote, security vote. I must partake in it. I must have my own share. because I also provide security for the governor, and the governor would under the regime of Obasanjo, 6 members of the House of Representatives, House of Assembly in the state, they impeached him and put Awakala as the governor. This is still in continuation until, like you have said, until we go back to the proper way of doing things. Nigeria is not the only country in the world. People fight corruption. In Japan, if you are caught with corruption, you commit harakiri. In China, they kill you, they kill your family. But in Nigeria, you go scot-free.
You do things and go scot-free.
That is why this thing is...
It keeps repeating itself.
Yes.
And if nothing is done, for me, I believe if nothing is done as far as this issue from this, River State is concerned, other people will follow suit because they feel you can do, things and then go scot-free.
The moment you become the ex-governor of a state,
you have no business.
You have no business with the state again.
And you are not just an idle person. You are somebody who has been given a position.
Are you the owner of the state?
So there's just so much that needs to be done as far as River State is concerned,
Not only River State, all the states, every past governor would like to controlling the incumbent governor that I put you there, so I have control over you, and you must give me kickback. When you are not demanding for your own share, how will he perform very well? Yes, he'll be able to perform.
Exactly. All right, we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at further stories. Please stay tuned. Yes, welcome back from that quick break. Let's take a look at the next story that we have still from the Punch. And this says a 532.5 billion naira budget too small to fight poverty. Minister laments. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Beta Edu, has said that the amount allocated for our ministry in the 2024 budget was not capable of fighting poverty in the country. The minister stated this on Tuesday when she led officials of our ministry and parastatal under it to defend our 2024 budget before the Joint National Assembly Committee of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, chaired by Senator Idiat Adebolu. Okay, she also said our ministry was given an overheaded selling of 532.5 billion naira, which represents a 28% in increase over the 2023 budget to cushion the effect of inflation. It is pertinent to note that the 28% increase in the overhead ceiling is not commensurate to the 27.33% inflationary rate in the economy today, she noted. Edu said, conversely, the capital budget ceiling was reduced from 3.7 billion naira in 2022 to 1.32831.6 billion naira in 2023, and it represents a 71% reduction. So in 2022 and 2023 there was a 71% reduction. So however, the patent capital ceiling of 1.535 billion naira, which is an increase from the current year's budget, does not in any way match with the mandate of the ministry's headquarters to shrink poverty in Nigeria. Okay, so now looking at this, I think she actually has a point there. Looking at the budget that we have that came in for 2023 and then the budget that is ahead for 2024. Now, with the current state of things in Nigeria, looking at the state of economy right now, how effective or how realistic is this for her to be able to manage this? Now, I think I also want her to understand that we are all in this country, and we know that even the money that has been allocated to her is not the money that we have per se in our country. It is a borrowed fund. So I think we also need to come to a point where we need to understand that whatever it is, we have to manage whatever is being allocated to us. But my own point is, how effective would this be? How realistic is this for her as a minister to be able to manage or cushion the effects of the poverty level in our state at the moment, Engineer?
Now, you see, though what she's saying is quite right, but the writer says that when a child is walking on the road and he stumbles on his stone and he falls, the child will rise up and continue walking. But if it's an elderly person, what he would do is that the elderly person will look back and check what caused his fall. What I will say here is that the minister has spoken very well that this amount of money, 532.5 billion naira, that is in the budget allocated for the ministry, would not be enough to curb poverty alleviation in the country. But you should look back again and check that this money we are talking about is not the money that you have it, stored in a place. This is the money that is being forecasted that if we hand this amount of money from the crude oil sales, this amount of money will be allocated to your ministry for poverty alleviation. So it's not a physical cash that it is there already, let me bank on it. If according to the budget, if everything works fine according to plan, she may have this money as budget for the ministry. But if things do not work very fine, she may not have this money, for the budget. What I'm saying in essence here is that the minister is telling us that, look, I will still ask for more money during the year. Have this in your mind that the money you are giving to us will not be enough to do our job. But at the same time, she should also have it at the back of her mind that sometimes when a certain amount of money is being budgeted, this amount of money is being budgeted for a purpose, and that goal is not realized by the federal government, or the money is not available for the federal government again has to go out and borrow. We are talking about foreign exchange problem in the country that is causing a lot of inflation in Nigeria. Many companies are leaving. Now, the federal government is trying to cushion the effect that, okay, this effect should not have more dire effect on the people. And the minister is saying this money is not enough. Start work. Let's see what you can do. If it is not enough, federal government will, nobody will know. Then they can
find a way,
to add more to it. But as of now, let's start the work, and let us be having the faith that, oh, this poverty is now going down gradually. Government can do more, but let's start working. It is good that she has spoken now that, look, see, oh, this money is not enough. Oh, not that when I start working and it got to a stage, people will be saying, oh, she has finished the money, she has swallowed the money, like he used to say that a snake will come and swallow money. That she has swallowed the money, she has eaten the money. No, this money will not be enough for this job. Oh. But I will only advise that, okay, our dear minister, put up your best and leave the rest.
And work according to the budget that has
work according to the budget that you have. This money cannot come in bam at a time. It will come to you gradually. But when you start working, every Nigerian will see, every Nigerian will know.
All right, so we'll move further to the next story, and this will be from Vanguard newspaper. Okay, and Vanguard, the first story from Vanguard says that budget 2024 under threat as oil price drops to 76.53% per barrel. Okay, with the 2024 federal budget going through legislative process at the National Assembly, the price of Nigerians Bonny Light yesterday dropped to $76.53 per barrel from over $88 per barrel in the global oil market, presenting a major threat to the execution of next year's budget. Okay, we'll also see that the nation's 2024 budget was benchmarked on $77.96 per barrel and 1.78 million per barrel per day, PPD. Now, based on some projections, especially development in the global oil market, but checks by Vanguard indicated that the price of many crudes, including Nigerian's Bonny Light, dropped to $76.53 per barrel, thus raising concern among stakeholders on the funding of the budget. Now, we'll also see that the stakeholders are also worried that if the trend continues, it would adversely affect the performance of the 2024 budget still being screened by the National Assembly. Okay, so now we're still back to the oil sector, and I wasn't expecting to see this, but be it as it may, we're talking about the budget already for 2024 being dropped. Now, this is something that the federal budget also has been affected as far as the Nigerian Bonny Light is concerned. Okay, so Engineer Ola, what's your view on this?
You see, what is surprising me is when the Senate invited the group managing director of NNPC to defend the budget. He was emphatically saying that from what he's seen, the price of crude oil will not go down. We are now in December 2023, because only God can tell you what happens tomorrow. No man can do that. Now, from what is happening now, his projection is wrong. That means there will be a very big problem, because what you earmark in your budget for the sales of crude oil is now, the price is now lower, and this is 2023, not 2024. We have not started. That means the moment we have problem with the budget, there will be problem with the economy. No gainsay about that. That is why that when you are planning the budget, you peg the price that this is the reasonable price, that come water, come rain, come sun, the crude oil price will not go lower than this, so that now you can be able to run the budget effectively Your planning will be fantastic, but now you are having a blockade. Even before you start, you want to write an exam, you have started failing before you start writing the exam. This is what I'm saying. Well, it's not too late now. The budget is still with the National Assembly. They are still debating on the budget. This is a very red signal that this budget may fail if trend of events in the world continue like this and the price of crude oil is falling. This budget will fail. So like I used to say, the economists, they should go again and sit down on the round table and discuss that. Now this is a sign, this is a premonition of good or bad that is to come in future. What do we do? If the price falls down lower than what is in the budget, what will happen? So you have to prepare. Not until when it happens that you start running. No father will wake up on Monday morning and start looking for money that his children will take to school on Monday morning. You will have done that on Friday or Saturday or Sunday, not on Monday morning. You will have called your friends, come to my rescue. I don't have money at all. My children have to go to school on Monday. They will come, not until Monday morning. Now, this is a sign for Nigerian economists now to go back again. And Abba Kyari too, the group managing director of NNPC, that what you are proposing as the sales, the bench price for the crude oil is getting lower in the world market. So something has to be done now. Thank God it's happening now that we have not started implementing the budget.
Of course. All right, so that's it for the first story. So still on Vanguard, we'll take the next story from Vanguard, and this says top Nigerians involved in illegal mining, funding, banditry, also terrorism, says Alake. Now, the Minister of Solid Mineral, Mr. Dele Alake, has alleged that powerful Nigerians involved in illegal mining were responsible for other criminal activities and involved in sponsoring banditry and terrorism in the country. Alake also said this when he appeared before the House of Representatives Committee on Solid Minerals for the 2024 budget defense in Abuja on Tuesday. Now, according to him, a lot of banditry and terrorism are also sponsored by illegal miners. They are not people who pick gold on the ground, but powerful individuals in the country. He went further by saying that the majority of the illegal miners were not foreigners, but added that foreigners could be seen as symptoms. Nigerians are those powerful people behind them. Nigerians are those powerful people, he said, who have behind them. We are identifying them with both nitic and non-nitic means. We have encouraged those petty illegal miners to form cooperatives. Okay, now this last one got me. Those illegal miners, he said he has advised them to form cooperatives. Now this brings us to one of the topics we once discussed, that there is nothing that has to do with illegal mining that doesn't have the powerful people backing them up, because the layman on the street will not go doing that without the fear of, what if I'm being caught? How much will I make from this? But because they have people who are backing them up on this, and that is why we have all this illegal mining. Now, if he's coming back to say that, okay, appearing before the House of Representatives and talking about the mineral mining budget for 2024, what is the way forward? How are they going to, go about this thing as far as 2024 is concerned, Engineer Ola?
Well, you see, thank God that Alake is coming out to say that we know we have been trying to use kinetic and non-kinetic means to identify the illegal miners. They call them smugglers. We have lots of mineral resources in Nigeria that can transform our economy. Okay, I read in the paper, one of the papers, that this battery, lithium battery, they are creating a very powerful factory for the lithium battery in this country. Most of our electronic gadgets, they use lithium battery. Phones, they use lithium battery, so they will not bring any lithium back into the country again, and then many foreigners will buy it. But when you have illegal miners, let me give you an example from Osun State in Elisha. Under the conspicuous eyes of the government, illegal miners are there mining gold at Elisha. All over Nigeria, we have lots of solid minerals in Nigeria. But when Alake is now coming out to say this, because if there is law in the country that fights corruption to stand still, that law that fights corruption to stand still is not fighting corruption now. So the corrupt people, because they have not been arrested by the government, or they have not been proper justice on them, they fight back the government to stand still. So any policy, any law you want to enact in the country, those illegal smugglers, illegal miners, those people that have embezzled Nigerian money will fight you back to a standstill, and the government will not perform. The problem of the government today is corruption. Like I have mentioned, okay, there was a time I traveled to Singapore. When I got to the border, they brought out a book bigger than the Bible. Do you know the name of the book? Crime Prevention in Singapore. If you commit any crime, your name will be in that black book, and they will distribute the book to all their borders. If you are going out or coming in or coming back to the country, they will check your name, your passport, your phone number, everything, your face. Once the machine is able to arrest you, you are going back to jail. Like I said earlier, in Japan, you have to commit arakiri. Arakiri means kill yourself. In China, once you are caught, your family, your daughter will become a prostitute in what do you call this? Motel, government motel. If every country that does not have time to fight corruption would be like this. Nigeria is going to recession because of corruption. Nothing. Nigeria is going to recession because of corruption. Our Naira has no value because of corruption. But if the government, now we thought when Buhari was coming in, Buhari was going to fight corruption. But then we have forgotten that Buhari was a military leader. When Buhari returned as a civilian president, he was not able to fight corruption to stand still. Because there are lots of people in government. And if there is no way, Obasanjo tried, brought in EFCC, brought in anti-graft agencies. What we are seeing today is that they go to court and they win. So which means if there is no proper way to fight corruption, Nigerian economy will still be going down the gutter. And we will have more and more of brain drain. Nigerian students who are very, very good, are performing very well all over the world, they will not stay in the country because the politicians are corrupt. Let's say our leaders are corrupt. And there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can gain where there's corruption in the country. So what Alake is saying, I think the government should follow it up that if Alake is saying that in the mining sector of Nigeria, there is a lot of corruption there are illegal miners, the government should fight them. When government fight them, we'll be able to benefit what God has given to this nation as mineral resources. If you have lithium in the country, we should not be lacking, because lithium is money. This is the reason why Burkina Faso said, no, France, leave, let us manage our natural resources. The same thing should apply in Nigeria. Leave, let's manage what we have in the country, and let's utilize. Not that somebody will come from somewhere, you put on coat, suit, and somebody will come with agbada, babariga, and then they'll say, now we get the land. So
God help Nigeria.
Amen.
We really need it, because this is a point where I believe our leaders should really sit down and say, what is the way forward? How are we going to overcome these challenges that we face as a nation, as a country? It is very important. Okay, so moving on to the Sun newspaper. Let's see the first story from the Sun. This says, immigration CG exposes expatriates quota fraud. Now, the Controller General of Immigration, CGI, Caroline Wura Ola Adepoju, has warned that if the practice of bringing in and employing foreign prisoners in foreign-owned companies operating in Nigeria was permitted in the past, it will no longer happen under our watch. She handed down the warning at a press conference at the immigration's headquarters in Abuja yesterday. Now, the story went further by saying that the new NIS boss stressed that if there was failure in the aspect of the past, there was a new sheriff in town who would no longer tolerate it. Last week, Wednesday, senators had alleged that prisoners from some foreign countries were working in construction companies owned by expatriates in Nigeria. The senators, who were members of the Interior Committee, made the allegations during the budget defense of the Ministry of Interior in Abuja. Okay, we'll also see that the chairman of the committee, Adams Oshumole, who spoke on behalf of other lawmakers, frowned at the practice and insisted that the practice must stop. Okay, so I think I am liking this coming from, the new sheriff that is in town. Yes, I am here, so every other expatriates that are fraud, which is foreign, cannot be accepted. I love the enthusiasm in her voice and the actions that she's bringing, and I really look forward to a point where this will not just be a mere word like we used to hear. After a little while, they one thing, and then we just hear now that we said it and nothing has been done. Okay, and also seeing that the lawmakers have also joined forces with her and say that really, yes, this has to be put to stop. It's a good way to start. It's a good way to begin. So, Engineer Ola, what's your take on this?
See, I'm very happy that it is the Senate that told us this, that we have prisoners working in many companies in Nigeria. It's known to the government. It's not a new thing. There are lots of prisoners in Nigeria that are working. Let me give you an example. I watched a movie. It's a movie that was shot on African soil. This company is a foreign company in that country, and there was a kind of riot in that country. Do you know that this company brought out ammunitions with military men that were thought to be, these were ex-convicts, but they were military men. This thing, we have said it here before, that we have lots of ex-convicts in this country, that they are working in companies. On Sunday, you see their staff bosses moving around. You see some people looking like this inside the buses. There are lots of militants in Nigeria, working foreign militants, that they are deserting. Why the government is wasting away Nigerian students? Julius Bada is constructing bridge in Nigeria. Why don't you put in Nigerian students who are studying different engineering skills in various universities in the country? That join Julius Bada, if you want to construct any bridge in Nigeria, you have to give quotas to Nigerian university students who are studying metallurgical engineering, civil engineering, petrochemical engineering, chemical engineering. They must be trained on the job training. And what will happen? They will be able to maintain Nigerian roads and Nigerian bridges. But Nigeria is not doing this. Thank God that the Senate is now telling our dear immigration boss that we don't want to conduct any prisoners working in Nigeria. How can somebody who's supposed to be in prison in your country, who will come to our country, will work, and you pay him remunerations, and the government of your country will take the money? Yes, it happens all over Asia. I worked in Asia. I know what it's not a lie. It's the truth. From Bangladesh, some people will come to Saudi Arabia to work. The government of Bangladesh will recruit them to work in Saudi Arabia, and maybe their first 3 months' salary goes to the government, or every month, fraction of their salary goes to the purse of the government to run their country. So now, foreign workers are coming, prisoners are coming to this country. They work in their factory, in their farm, and then the remuneration will be taken back to their country. Who is benefiting? Who is losing? So that is why we are saying that there are lots of corruption, because and these foreigners, they cannot achieve this without being in partnership with a Nigerian.
Not just a Nigerian, but a powerful
A
Nigerian.
powerful Nigerian. God bless you. A powerful Nigerian. So I have prayed that this our officer, where she is coming from, she has a very strong liver. This is a battle that once she opens the door, there is no going back. She had, because many powerful Nigerians are involved, and if Kia is not taken, as she has said this now, maybe she will not be replaced. I just pray. This is exactly what happened when Kemi Adeosun said, the money that yes, has recovered, the money is not deposited in the central bank. I want to see the account. I want to see where the money is. She wants removed. So you see that corruption is what the government really has to deal with in this country. You cannot move forward. Like Jonathan has said, you want to fight corruption, you don't have modern equipment, you don't have technology. Kidnappers will kidnap people on the road. Nigerian security officers do not have drones to fly into that forest and locate their hideout. Are you saying the military do not have money? People don't buy fuel again. They use drone. Are we saying that in our schools, our students cannot design and manufacture drones if they are encouraged? So government has lots to do. It boils down back to education again. You are developing infrastructure. You are not developing people that will use the machineries. You have to develop human labor. The government has to develop human labor in our universities. The same thing we have train in India. But India will tell you that the best Indian doctors are in India. But the best Nigerian doctors are outside the country because they are not encouraged. When you are aiding and abetting a criminal to bring prisoner about 500, 1,000 prisoners to the country, and they are working as construction work, as the carpenters, bricklayers, metallurgical technicians in the country, and Nigerians don't have job to do. It's annoying. It's annoying. Thanks for the Senate for saying this to our Nigerian immigration boss. And I think,
and also
being a woman, she's a mother, I know she knows how to deal with that situation.
All right, so let's look at the last story before we call it a wrap for today. The last story says, 65th birthday, I appreciate your love, Uzodinma tells Imo people. In a brief remarks at the Government House Chapel, Owerri, after a Thanksgiving Mass, he thanked the people for the love and support they have shown him and his family. He also thanked the people for believing in him. The governor, who pleaded with the people to understand his ways and tolerate his shortcomings, described the day of his birth as a day of joy, in which all would continue to be glad and rejoice. Uzodinma said it was a delight to worship with the congregation in the spirit of God and victory, reminding them that it was the first Mass since he received his certificate of return from his second term in office after winning in all the 27 local governments. The governor, who said he observed the spirit of enthusiasm and joy on the faces of the people, thanked God for his infinite mercies and kindness to him this past years, and used the opportunity to welcome all the sundry to his birthday celebration. Okay, and using this opportunity to also wish him a very happy birthday and long life. I think he's actually doing well for the States, because so far people have been, there's been good comments about him, and then he's one who also appreciates the people. Well, for me, it's happy birthday to you, and keep up the good work and keep doing the things that you do, and we pray that God keep you in good health and help teach him to continue to do the right thing, because that's what matters. Don't get carried away by the things that are happening, and then just overlook the people that you are there to serve. So, Engineer Ola, what's your last take on this?
I follow your part. No, happy birthday to you.
All right, and this is where we call it a wrap for today. Thank you so much for being a part of today's newspaper review on CACTV. This is how we do it till we come your way, same time, same station. Remain blessed, and remember, be Nigeria,
Bye,
buy
Nigeria. Bye.